The United Nations has issued a direct warning that Yemeni children in the city of Hodeidah are at imminent risk of death. The statement comes after the Saudi-led coalition intensified military activity in the area.
Hodeidah is today very much on the front lines of a brutal war against children. Children have already suffered tremendously, continue doing so. So any escalation of the conflict affecting Hodeidah will have brutal consequences, not only for the hundreds of thousands of children here in Hodeidah who may be caught in the middle of the conflict, but will have consequences for the millions of children throughout Yemen who are counting on the supplies coming in through Hodeidah to help them to survive.
Well, the UN has also repeatedly stressed that 30,000 children every year in the country die of malnutrition, describing the conflict as a living hell. Saudi Arabia, which has been leading a deadly campaign against Houthi rebels since 2015, say they're trying to reduce civilian deaths. The kingdom's foreign ministry even posted on Twitter that they stand for the children of Yemen. But the message has backfired, as Ilya Petrenko reports.
Just so you know, children in Yemen, some of whom have never seen peace in their life, are not alone. Says who? Saudi diplomats on Twitter. But something seems to be wrong with the photo in that tweet. Probably because the reality for most children there looks more like this or this. There's more. Let's go back to what was under the photo. It says, "Your children, our children." Is this really how you treat your children? These were the pictures. Now to some of the things that have been said by the UN Children's Fund experts. In Yemen, every 10 minutes a child dies from a disease that can easily be prevented.
Yemen is one of the worst places to be a child right now because since the war escalated, the number of children malnourished, 2 million, and the number of children that don't have access to water is enormous, the same with access to health.
The UN says since March 2015, Saudi-led coalition airstrikes have killed around 1,300 Yemeni children and injured roughly the same number. As unlikely as it sounds, Saudi Arabia is actually Yemen's biggest humanitarian donor, with hundreds of millions of dollars worth of aid this year alone. Just like an abusive partner who picks up the medical bills. No wonder folks online didn't really buy the way Saudi diplomats are standing with Yemen.
Are these the children you plan to drop bombs on next?
Should that not read, "We stand on Yemen"?
Just imagine the tweet of the Nazi Foreign Ministry on September 1939 saying, "We stand with Poland." That's crazy.
There may be people within Saudi Arabia who certainly feel for the plight of Yemenis at the moment, and the best way that could be shown in real terms, rather than with posters, is if the bombing campaign on Yemeni families stopped. If we saw that, then I would find it much easier to believe that there is sincere concern for the safety and lives of Yemeni children. There is no question that the significant contributions to the humanitarian plan made by Saudi Arabia and the UAE this year have been well received by the humanitarian community. Without that money, we wouldn't have been able to pool it together with other funds from other countries and reach people with aid. However, this is not a you break it, you buy it sort of arrangement. That money doesn't come close to absolving the Saudi-led coalition of responsibility for the number of deaths being caused, the illness, and the long-term damage being done to Yemen as a country.